Now, surely, back in the Victorian, we're cooking butterfried beef. Butterfried beef. Bum, 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 butterfried beef. Bum, 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 butterfried beef. 13 years of my life, I was being raised to be a submarine pilot or a crew member on a submarine. Well, he passed away. My instructor passed away in 2003, and I didn't get another instructor. But there's a good chance that I might be called aboard any one of these days now, in case push comes to shove. Or maybe not. Back during World War II, all it took was 12 weeks school, and you'd put on a sub. Nowadays, you need like an 8 years master's degrees and 10 years experience in the Navy already, and all sorts of things like that. So the new plan is to petition for the Bill Clinton ideas of civilian scientist passages to the Long Island Sound Underwater Research Laboratory. I'm not going to salt it or pepper it or anything. I just cook it till it's brown, not burnt. Or brown or pink in the middle, but it's like a gray brown on the outside, you know, wherever. The ditty's from a SpongeBob. It's, well, my brother worked at a hamburger stand. Gladly pay you Tuesday for 5 or 10 years of his life. For, well, not quite 10. Definitely not 10. But about 5. Paying medical bills. He got in an accident. It's not like that in Sweden, so I hear. A little Swedish house where they kind of throw all the bills away, you know? Just throw them away. The king and queen will pay them, right, President? You saw it on the world news. You'll pay it. You'll just let it slide or whatever. It was a bad one. So how are we supposed to come up with $20 million, $30 million to pay the medical bills for some kind of world news, you know, accident? It wasn't his fault. There was no crime involved on his part. So he had to get a job so he could start, you know. And besides believing in somewhat of a Swedish communism style as monetary, I like the, I think they mention it partly Jewish, because you just work for your dad until a certain age, and then you get booed off to the big city and make it on your own. Jesus did something like that. Of course, he was crucified afterwards, after Rome. But no, I believe in the hippie commune. We all take care of each other as far as the Greenpeace hippie commune stuff. And the difference between the hippie communes and the Swedish communism is that Swedish communism offers free healthcare, free school, and free groceries. You just walk into the store, you know, mark your name down, yeah, he's a resident. He does something good for someone somewhere else and deserves to eat. Take what you need, you know, and part. And if something bad happens, it's free, you know. The hospitals fix you, they don't charge you a dime. You want to go to school, you go to school. It's free. It's on the house. It's on the king and queen. They'll pay. Well, they've got an army of dragons, supposedly. And then the rainbow magic for the queen. 30 days where the sun bobbles on the horizon. And the aurora borealis is all her deal. Not the dragons, as far as I can tell. The hordes of Nords and their dragon armies. Well, besides that, the deal for the men is it gets dark for 30 days. During the winter, nonetheless. Moon only. So I guess lichens was a big deal. I used to have Swedish prayers on the fridge. One of them was like, it said lichen something, and it meant like wolf person, I think. So there's other meanings for that besides that of the old mythology books. Sumer Hodden, Garden, Far, or something, I don't know. I don't remember. I learned Swedish for 13 years. I learned Swedish for 6 years beforehand. She spoke Swedish purely. He spoke 2 languages, Swinglish and Bad English. my grandpa and my great-grandma. Still, ABCs is tough for me. But, as my youth was stunted at the age of 11, I mentioned I was at the comic book shop or St. James eating breakfast, one or the other. Either the church and then the comic books, or the comic books and then the church. in a fallout shelter to write letters to Oldham and Oregon instead of Manhattan because I hear they got it worse. And I went to Manhattan for a Red Cross emergency service out of the BSA 2004 and volunteer firefighter and volunteer police explorer as well 2000.